Yes, it's that time of the year when we test out a random cheap fisheye lens. I think it's been about 12 months since we looked at one. Actually, we looked at two, and they were both very fun. And I think that's the whole point of a lens that produces this kind of effect. Maybe that little sprinkling on the cake of your whole set. Unless you're a skateboard photographer, a music video shooter from the 90s, you're possibly not going to be using this kind of lens full time. And that's why it's fine that third-party companies put out a lens like this from time to time. You might feel there's too many, but that's fine, whatever. Let them put out what they want. Anyway, as you can see, I'm out and about working. I'm going to get some rough samples on the go so we can get an idea if this is offering anything different or if it's just another option. I know it's coming out in a lot of different mounts, possibly, you know, better than other brands, which doesn't matter for us Fujifilm shooters, but there you go. Yeah, so we'll throw up some unedited samples and see how we get on with it. But first, we'll go back to the studio via the magic of Final Cut editing. Look at it up close. Then at the end, it's going to be over to you. More importantly, it's about what you think if you've tried it. Let's crack on. Inside, you get the warranty and the lens. That is basically it. Well, that is it, literally. And there it is. It's very light, 260 grams worth. You've got this little plastic protector, which is a decent little addition. I think it's a cool looking lens for what it's worth. I mean, it's very simple. The manual focus has a nice tactile finish to it. That is very decent. And we've got a clicked aperture ring 2.8 to 16. It's not an amazing feeling, as you'd probably expect, but I don't think that's a big deal. 7.5mm. So this is going to be very, very, very interesting. In fact, it's given us a minimum focusing of 15 centimeters. So at 2.8, be interesting to see what we can do with that. 9 groups, 11 elements, 190-degree field of view angle. As you'd have seen in the intro, it is quite wild. The lens itself, for as simple as it is, you know, it's fine, decent. That is absolutely fine. It should be a nice little bit of fun. I mean, it is tiny. You don't want to use a fisheye too often, so even the amount of samples in this video would be overkill for a typical set of photos. I actually enjoyed shooting with this thing, but that's probably helped by the fact that I limit fisheye fun to annual or biannual, you know what I mean. But yeah, I found the lens to be really easy to use and a solid little unit. For what it's worth, the manual focusing and the aperture rings work well, and the overall build quality really is very good for what it is. lens surprised me with how sharp it is, and you can see decent sharpness across the whole frame with a spot of stopping down maybe. Colours render very well, better than some more expensive lenses that I've been using lately, to be fair, and contrast is actually pretty good. Now I do enjoy the close-up wide open shots with this one, really is pretty fun, and possibly a big selling point for this lens. You know, a fisheye that's as at home at f8 as it is at f2.8 is a very welcome addition to the kit bag. Of course, that's not to say the image quality is perfect, far from it, it was never gonna be, but all things considered, well done, Maker. Everything in this video was shot JPEG, or of course the video files are left untouched. Video files, usually a bit of shadows and highlights, but that's about it. But you know, I'd recommend shooting raw with this one to get a bit more of a finished image. Sometimes it can be tricky metering for the skies as well as the foreground with a lens like this, you know, straight out of camera. But as always, everything in this video is just for my test purposes. Is it worth it then? Well, it's 122.64 at the point of recording this on Maker's website, a bit more on Amazon to be fair, so you know, pretty average for a fisheye at this level. And the lens is a good buy as such. There's nothing necessarily new about this one, it doesn't innovate like the TT Artisan, but it easily stands up to other options from the, let's say, cheaper brands. You know, get one, have fun, and don't worry. Now I know a lot of you get what I mean and enjoy the others on the market. This one, it's tidy, sharp, fun. Not necessarily out to replace anything you already own, but you know, the more the merrier. Let us know if you've used this one, and I'll see you there, and next week, of course.